mu kakra me dia ba bia me gina ba akopɛ ni se yiguoro Ghana for afa the normal sentia a chese mami tiese se okoyigu a na obi wo koka se a enji dini bia because obi adu say normal munim sa mu ba ya kase senti motimi ayi nipa ato atwe ana me ka so magimi obi nim jansa me dia no because even as that time no what did data now me nim say that time no ano obele no now we need not knowing said that time no timid car could see obano a jack hospital let's say boni wo di team so get inti ubi
sakode yes no fanyo foforo ma ye hu se na sakode asem no da gode di bem if honest say nyinse no you want to be keep and ka be keep because that time now nya akola now 25 years me nya 21 na ma woman and miensa me nya 21 ma woman miensa nobody fault me nya me ba penny no sam na nyi gu o ho so me decide say me go yin ensi sakode o ye na o sakode kra na ka ko yi go if honest sam 25 years no ka be decide say me nyi nwu mewo ka obi entumi nya ore because what we o maame ufa ne nye hu mu maame unsuro no ufa maame ne nye hweti nye maame ne nim hu e na ko yin nsem ne tugu ye wan kasa na wotena se na se yin nsem mpem ko ye egu ivonesen sa akode kra ka se on pe na ka decide say me umpo upo me wu anka sa akode go ndimi na nchi ma ko ukura no nwale kwa ko be hwene ba because na broni be fa we ya wa wo mu ne mu anwale wakọ wo hwa wo be mebo a ayi Jackie Apia owo ba obayin movie ni mienu se no awo dedo se so oba na owo ye o se ne ba na na ye kire ne ba tum say yes get na ya de se oba oni kuno e so no atena se wonyem ye no hu se be ma na oni wokra mi pe no na se me pe no oni ani ho amehwe me ba Jackie Apia se ne ba ma ne ba ko school atese wo ba be sia ono aso ne ba tum se Jackie Apia ba ni yes na ba na mo ba ya capito ni ne wu ye na ba na mo no na hwe ne ba ye o oni capito nyem ya capito so ndie mi hia ne kwa na ba na mo asabi won pen kwase asemu nti no se wo hia ne kwa ho so ne da ye sabi se ne wo pen so won pen no to cut everything short no se amafa me ba ko kwan on pe so pe popra ne din kura bi on pe se bibia bra na nam ko be fa bi na ba na mo afa ne ba de ne ba betena broche hwe ne best school de ba betena broche hwe ne best school because ohunim sa akora ne ye ne dia akora ne nye be ma ne dia what you see it's in that we want so one who decided so go yin se na go nyesa akode na di tuo gina so na go yin se ndugu ye it's a pay sympathy was outside ho you can't get that sympathy you want what you see so ma me so ka so be kan o me so be twere book ni bia if one so be hu be ya ma me be bo mu so ma me ka so be twere book ni bia oba time be yi obebo no obe ka jo say na mo so no konya accident na mo so na the shop gu ye o se ma me be ka no ye so ye be feel sorry ama me se book ni atoka kra eye de entoye kotugu na fa ko hyensuom ne ho no na hwie tugu toilet emu nsam nya akono vones bu ye wa ho nsam so em se troll
yeah, money. Oh, Susuka, na unyari, Susuka, enti Susuka, na ye Maria, Susuka. FM. Okakaka unyari, yeah, Maria, yeah, Maria. Oh, Susuka, na unyari, Susuka, enti Susuka, na unyari, Susuka. Asiya Kurani say. And now me out to hotel room. FM. Mohammed Abdullah, or Draveni. On one or two. On our watching the game, said, I'm school transport. What did I say? Obia, what do you say?
Monkana Pim.
Or the win. Obisunya ne dia, or the win, sir. Obisu didn't the FM man. I saw no dear on the day in a juma. I don't think that you are here on Fahom and you are here, Chow Yim.
FM.
It's me once them and all the orchestra will retrain crop for sweet.
Yaba.
At the Emphasa now, Pena. And young man, yet the frau.
Sa.
And your daddy, your papa shell. Yeah, Mary.
Yeah, Sam Hill.
Susuka, now when you're here, Susuka, Susuka,
Then you may be crass, yes,
Susuka.
Yeah, Baby Dean, come on, art and entertainment. We are to see a navy and Yawada. Then was so much in my video there to say Peace 1043 FM soon as you go in now. Yeah, that's so good. You were nursing and come on, you say, oh, my so munyai. Yeah, so can you becca? You best to come on be a becca. As I'm say, Nanke, if he said, I didn't move Babaju, but it's for. Emunyo ye ni nyina na se nyumtuni sa akode se Yvonne Nelson book ya wo tworo ye I am not Yvonne Nelson book no ye da so agusu ya kan wie by kind of line by line you are word by word not to say sa mo tonso amunkan ebi no atonom de twitwa photo omo ade kura amunkan book no so ye say okay. Book you on kind, and so moon send you see cano. I say so creative, I bet na hanum saying will be your year panel member, book no one kind, so Bible castle Bible trade na drink. Says Uncle Phone in our class, says Moka Wasem, or your host, own kind book no, now Tnaho, Simunina, moon kind book no. Now, yeah, twice I am not Yvonne Nelson. Hey, and no holiday. It's here for more money social media and my home. Yee, I say more. And come on in, and I say, Yvonne Nelson, your true book. What your book no? Nipa back or can't was them, a saco dear. Was you on a saco dear? Saco dear, you saco dear, you say no. And now, yes, you be in say no good. Na ade she no kra kase kra ne se sa akode ye koyi nyinsen egu no eno ane se ode ne tena kaa mu otwi no ode ne kosi hospital na oja no honum se ode ne si ho ape na odan ho ena ope ne ba bi faaye se nyinsen no okwa akoyi egu no se be koyi o se obetimi a survive o say one survive o say ebe you enye you wasi say ne na e bia sa akode ba be frɛ no nyumtuni sa akode ba be frɛ no say ha nyi say na o yes o kwa akoyegu no etisen ekosen enti saa de na sa akode ye no eye ne ya papa enti wo twiro no book yi I'm Not Yvonne Nelson ena ode sa akode ebere bi etwam ne esi ye wo montembem say afi be 2010 na eno na nyumtuni sa akode asemi betodwa amanfo ahoro sa akode pa say sa akode otrimu aden be ma woni obada na se wofa onyinsen na se mu kwa koyi egukura odi na kosi hospital no aye eni omo betwa abo no twa abo no amanfo akyerɛkyerɛ ma dwen bebre na sa akode nso se wono nso ye nyumtuni nia Yvonne Nelson kan ye se nyinsen ho asɛm no wono nso wo bi ka but wakwakwa nyumtuni wono de on pese obetwiro book ensem bia wo bia anu ye bia wo bia efa enyinsen no eho no wono ede be ye nyumto enti wono so wode atwero nyum atwero nyum ena nyum no aba abonten ebebo nyum na mam enti mo a ebia monkenkan sa akode book Yvonne Nelson book no nyo kan fa sa akode no ho ni enie o kan page 88 chapter 8 etifia sem no say abortion nyinsen yutuguo abortion na nia Yvonne Nelson kan ye nie. It was 2010 and I was 25. I was about to graduate with a degree. My acting career had taken off extremely well, but it was hit with a ban in Ghana. I found a welcome distraction in my charity, the Yvonne Nelson Glaucoma Foundation. I recorded a single that featured some of the top stars in the entertainment and sports industry in Ghana. Musicians such as Sarkodie, Efia, Sherifa Gunu, and Edem were featured. Michelle Majid, boxer Joshua Clottey, Nana Banamwa, Prince David Osei, and John DeMello also featured in the video. Enti Yvonne Nelson said 2010, no edi in fear edionum enum na efina na oba be a graduate with the first degree ni acting career no na apege ni mu akoyi but breach bi bubo no ene se ye bane no e wo acting Ghana hanum sei enti ohwe se obetene fie wonya hwede ene o hya ase se o mani ni akọ eye ni foundation bi anu ate Yvonne Nelson Glaucoma Foundation odi na ho odin ni bibia de hyemu enu ntinu otwa ho nwom kra a ebe boa no na watimi abọ ho devru eye Glaucoma Foundation anyomtifo bi te se sa akode Efia Sherifa Gunu Edem womu nyina womu boa no enyum ya otwa ya na wode boa edi abọ ni Glaucoma Foundation no ehu devru no anyomtifo yi eboae womu twa ho video kra video no Michelle Majid Joshua Clottey a boxer Nana Banamwa Prince David Osei John DeMello womu nyina video no se na omu womu bi. The solace I sought in my humanitarian venture and opportunities in Nigeria was interrupted by a turmoil that started mildly in my abdomen and climbed wildly to my head and gave me sleepless nights. In my head was not physical pain, it was mental torture. I had gone for a pregnancy test to confirm what becomes the most obvious conclusion for a sexually active young woman who misses her monthly flow. I was in the company of Karen, and when the test result was ready, I wasn't strong enough to open it. She did and declared the verdict. Quote, "Charlie, he did there," she exclaimed. Wase ebedu brebi no brana odi no ha hye eye the humanitarian venture ana foundation no aye no oye na onya opportunities in so Nigeria no brichi samba be born biom ni nyina ne se ne ba bi hyase se fi ne yem tititi ne ma bi wo na wa hyase adwen ho ti odakora wontumi nna ade ebe no so kwadanda enti oya ya no se me yebabunu abayo anso amesi so a me ne be ma dade se ne anya mesi koedie esem timi hwe ne amamu ye enti oya so obe pregnancy test wokoya test nyo no nko a one ne nyonko e friend carry no omkoye na test no baaye no ono wenya akukuduro kra so obe he test no enti ni nyonko carry ena carry ebiesu no hweye carry biesu hwe a no se chale idede teseminia edem we di loto bet na uchaye no bibia dem onyem hey. On an ordinary day, I would have laughed out loud, and that would trigger a string of jolly conversations and jokes. But this was no laughing matter. It was a green piece of information that was capable of turning my world upside down. I wasn't the only one responsible for the situation. So I called the man whose potent seed had germinated in me. His name is Michael Owusu-Addo, a renowned Ghanaian musician who is better known as Sarkodie. Hey, Sarkodie. Enti, everyone else say, eba ni sape, bema, wonim, se, wane ni daye, amu afaye funu onyem no, ofre no. Yes, nyomtuni Michael Owusu-Addo. Ni diya sha adake munu no, ni akọ ni passport no abe hunu no. But unim no se Sarkodie no ofre no. Asi Sarkodie on nyomtuni a washa ase ano ofefe. So Sarkodie was a budding musician with the potential to become one of the biggest artists in Ghana and beyond. At the time, however, the future looked uncertain, and this was through the maze of life still appeared too foggy to predict. Success was not guaranteed. He was still living with his mother and was not ready to carry a burden while he was being carried by his mother. Otenuma mentions on your banada. Timini obada. Eam koda himfa. Muda wo eye ufi hon man na why ko hotel. But ni opeso chira se Sarkodie. Ohwe no a na efi na wa sha ase wo fefe. Enya de obetimi a che se akoi de bi obeyi ana be sen. Ba ni ti ane ni tofa bomu a ne se Yvonne Nelson se Sarkodie ene ne fa ifunu. Onyem no wodi ni kosi hospital. Wodi ni kosi hospital no eno jan honum sei. Ni aka no chise autobook na kan. Ana pa obi no kan ma. But wasi sa asem no ade a Sarkodie kwan odi ni fa so no ye ni ya papa. So akwakuja no hospital. Na wanyem me na adi akosi hospital no jan. Asemi beto dwa. Amanfo ahoro Sarkodie akama. Sarkodie nso so obi ka. Na ni obeka nie eno ne odi aya nwumto a ukuada bemsa humachin eno yipie ye tie nwum no na yemra yeni nkomo studio no hanu se nkojokina atenase Socrates afa so atenase na yento ankomo no so.
Who jump on one crummy? Yeah, baby girl, make you not try me. They don't I never thought I was gonna be on this wave, cause I was ready to take a couple things to my grave. First off, let me clap for you, baby, you brave, but you can't pick and choose what to say, please behave. Obian so if you wanna talk, you gotta tell the world every other nigga you fuck. You can't just play the victim and paint a picture like you were just looking for love from all the dicks that you suck. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, we had a thing. First time I thought you were cool till I had a hint. Now me face the boys I clock it with the baddest bitch. That's a sign of you nice, I saw Cuban links. I was trying to stay away from you, but then you came. What time is when you mean I'm the one to be blamed? Okay, of course I thought that you were trying to start another drama. I'll be boy from the street, I know the game. Yes, I wasn't ready, but then I told you to keep it. What time is with school, I woke up, you gotta complete it. To be very honest, till today I don't believe it. Cause make us I'm a doctor, make sure you say you don't need it. After conversation, now that you sent me a text, so I down to be with Dr. B, but you know he's the best. So don't you make it seem like I was the one pushing you for abortion, cause that be the only part to make a vex. Yeah, someone pay me the ajame. I don't know what that me. Would they my baby and I would they come and call me? Mama this what that me. Someone pay me the jam in mommy cool. Don't be for fraud that me. Who jam me on one crummy? Baby girl, make you not try me. Few weeks ago, you tried to set me up again. Or should I try me once after you still go through the pain? But me knowing you, I kinda knew that you were really up to something. So I said that we should meet so you explain. They arranged meeting was sky back. Also on the panel door, so I'm like, And then you told me, like, I miss Amra with you and I miss me. I miss Amisha with them, you like bad. Your work can't pen no show song. Miss Amra with you, your man, I do not song. And then you say, your barbecue, I am a jiggy. The man, I been no me brand new. You know what it is, shorty just shits in the back. Cause after way doesn't bring the happiness back. Take the blame, cause nobody gets the cost of a bad choice in life. Stop the personal attacks. First few hours, heard the book is doing well. Who is really shocked, cause everybody can tell. So it's not because the book is really good, but we're living in a world where negativity sells. I pray you get the healing that you need. Let me claim a good girl, you are for the streets. Strategy not hit, so buy him my G with two. Me, I'm at the one coffee shop, I'm about to read. Someone pay me the ajame. I don't know what that me. Would they my baby and I would they come and call me? Mama this what that me. Someone pay me the jam in mommy cool. Don't be for fraud that me. Who jam me on one crummy? Baby girl, make it don't try me. Make it don't try me.
Okay, all right. So, it's for Sakodie. And you know, so on also the side of the story. Near course, so near Yvonne Nelson Kaye. Say yes, Ukojano Hospital near the car home. Na, just a necranos or befriend I be a Ubisano Ninse and no one said one, and you will name. And the aye and young Tono say won't pay me and yet Jamie. I then I would da me. What the mamia. Now we are was answer the aquako makwami. I me a sure him saying the outside clear. But in some no senior will see chim no can I say I never thought I was going to be on this wave. Cause I was ready to take a couple of things to my grave. Not just one year na drink crass bia and cat sansem we no say nanke bianca ebekono. But in fact, oh yes, you may be on more and call the beko amanem. One can't no be a cry to be. So first off, let me clap for you, baby. You brave, but I can't pick and choose what to say. Please behave. Or she or born say my Yvonne Nelson. Born say my baby. I didn't hear him say yes. Yvonne Nelson. Once one walking. And he born say my. But untimi nyen untimi nyibi se why wadwen say bia be kan sem no a wo wode akan sem ni nyina no bia ntimi hu ne etuem na menye se wo ka bi no wagye bi obian soma wo ohima. So if you want to talk, you got to tell the world everything. Sem ni bi ho mo a men kan se nyo sika no Mr. Mo a because if you have words now we use no enye radio friendly ntimi kan sam pam chobebre. But your person chirane say niema ni bi wo no mo a o pese o kan se ne te pepepe. You can't just play the victim and paint a picture like you were just looking for love from all the honano shi tifo. Just a member now on your madamina no untimi ma me on to say be a fine. O de o hu son sa debi. Cause a member on your mada e organ hanum say no enye me ba mema ketwa we nyina no sa akode no ka ho TV nurse ho asem no ka no emema woni o mada je so pese edoso for kire se edoso papa. I'm not going to sit here and lie. We had a thing. First thing, I thought you were cool till I had a hint. Just said, no, if you say, hey, Bia. If you say, you were nursing, hey, Papa. Echirenu, and who said, oh, Jack. Now, sir, Kalaya, when you know, if you say, when you're bar, me. Correct? I'm for honest, to say Cuban links. Me aso se mo anyum to adwuma ndio munim Cuban links e chie na ya anyum to fo no wo mo di to mu ko mu no won se na sisa so no enti o pese o kire se e mema no saso sa ko de we bubu girl we bubu no studio no hanu saying Kojo Kina Transi Samson na yeso Christopher Transi memre na yensha ase enyumi sa akodi side of the story say no mu hu no say no mu fa no so great insha ase infuse so I'm sure sir wait me etie enyumi wate
metie pa
wetie enyum no
metie pa
yes makinkan kakra me bɔ mɔdian so ebo ne tofa kakra nsɛm no bi ɛwɔ ɛyɛ book no ni asɛnia Yvonne Nelson asɛm ɔka ya a ɛno nti no sa akɔdeɛ ɛnso ɛyi nano
bɛbɔ nkran mu sɛ Sunday tata ka eto melo odi betwi mu a odi kokuru mutie kɔyi ase a yɛde sutro ɛna gya okwan metie sa akɔdeɛ response na mimi hu sa akɔdeɛ response ne sɛ ɛyɛ ɔno ne nokore ɛna ɔno ka Yvonne abɛka ne nokore you and I were not there yemienu nyinaa no emra saa ne ma we nyinaa ɛkɔ so no ne yemu bia ani hɔ enti no mint na han say enje je say ne asa akɔdeɛ ɛka no ɛyɛ nokore anaasɛ nea Yvonne ɛka no ɛyɛ nokore then again me fan nsɛm na ɔma keka no nso a me hwɛ nea Yvonne picture o painting of Sarkodie ɛwɔ book no mu no me hu an irresponsible irrational human being in the person of Sarkodie and the Sarkodie nso response no ɔno nso a painting a picture of an irresponsible irrational lady. That is how I see it. A response that you call me this, and I've also thrown back words at you based on my perception about you. Because Yvonne, a man perception about Sarkodie, and the Sarkodie also a man perception about Yvonne.
So violence begets violence.
Violence begets violence. The law of nature. And you know, me sani mi huno. Matia manfo bebre kekane adentira wo yesa about oba adensa. Is it the case that a we as a man will right to denigrate a member? The member the only need the right to also respond to women? I don't understand it. Because I say me by yanka nokre. Ye nyina ye hu sani Sarkodie. The picture you painted about Sarkodie. An irresponsible man. Obi ultimi so be nyinsen we jane keke. But Sarkodie nso kan on also say fine also wo ma wonyem fine. Is it the case say wo na also wo mpese wo keep because wo school and na say me na me say me mpe? Is that the case? Wo aba be kan wo side me so me kan me side. Why are people making it look like Sarkodie kasa ya kan and why can ye na Yvonne kasa o kan do kan ye? Look at a brand like Sarkodie. A brand like Sarkodie, a business entity. A man for be dino. Companies a dino. Na uba be ridicule that company ne say. And I see that business ne say. What do you think? Niti ye si Sarkodie anka so kusiu no. Niti ye si Sarkodie anka so kusiu no. But what taken as a friendly match based on their previous relationship. here we are. Was it a relationship? Or it was affection between two people, two consenting adults? Decided some be baby. Ni ho. O friend Morris Sampa last no lawyer. Ema ne chire mu say at least say ye mienu ye tie ho ase ne yekoye bibi. Ni anka se ye wi aye kwakokan. Na wo kwakokan a breach of trust. Enu nyina sa akode anka hwe. But now sa akode has come to respond, redeem himself. What do you say there? When you were running him down. Now, let's look at it from this angle. It deemed fit to Yvonne. Say, "Oka ebinuma 7 wa momudin." Oka ebinuma 7 no wa momudin. Nembo ne dru obedience so dia no abonidin. Is it pick and choose? Law. There is something in law. But matise you discuss it that when somebody decide they say enema bebresi ni ma pick a mubi. Me we free there is a technical legal term bi a me hu senya omo kanono. Omo term bi. Omo ye. Chese ye nyina ye te anse ni ye dia oba no aba yimi nko afiri mu no wa accuse me of it. Why if Yvonne try about me?
I was all selective justice ana.
Yes, but omo legal term bi. Me sure say bia loyalty ke
but lawyer Nkutajini into you.
But just say
lawyer Nkutajini.
Okay. Okay. Enti me de me kan asem a me bisa we wa hanze kojokin wa hanze sempacho all kan about the sexual life no all kan about the first person who break in and in such situations no a woman will comfortably write about the first experience because she was talking about the menstrual year when you proper education from the mother and senior maybe inka way no being a script writer and a good one at that no. These are some of the points that will interest people. Your first encounter, how it happened because of ignorance and how you miss certain things. Was Sarkodie that irresponsible? I don't see an irresponsible man from the description because if onipa ni timi jitum eba be foul e drive o e wo car mu enye so wa mo sika se je fakfaka ko wa drive hu e ko ba bia okoye ye friend sen wo na onye doctor o onye nurse okwa kotena dem ha ye den menya sure so no nko an one ko
say obetwen na ode na kofie
oh me pa cho enti no are you telling me so drew no pian that because je ko
from the description there say it is zibi
from the description
from I mean story no kan oko see me na oja me okoy
left ni enti no expect say akodi betna room ho no waye den kwesi me ne wo sebi previous and now my news no asem to me say ane wo de metina ka mu ko hospital will the doctors ask you to wait in the hospital?
No, but say metimi atwen
o betimi atwen me
yeah,
but bia
proper say metwen
based on understanding be be fa me koy okay
yeah, but the proper say metwen na me hu ne ba akosi
yes
me na me de call enti proper say metwen
but the laws the doctors at a point can ask you to excuse
we there now difference na boy emfa because I mean who na den call say o twen
there be
no wa na odigi mfatu hu na ode ma no
mfatu a me dey ma say
me de call hospital na me say eno dey say me twen o secret tie bia wo mfatu hu no dey waiting so be ma mfatu hu foforo dia
the same mfatu hu na me dey me say akodi fa no he was a responsible man to take the lady to the hospital wherever the lady's hospital of choice omo call ye no ne ba e manager no ye nyina ye nim enkita hu di omudi ye ansa no o ja no minim engine I don't think say akodi be ko gina ho no agya no ho say me ja o hanse me ko there may be some nkita ho
basa no okan say so no kan
Yvonne anka any say akodi ezo anka
no so o say
there Yvonne say there
me mbisa me
nsa o
yeah
oh okay but me there ni me hu ye no say anase ni me hu ne say o call ho no there will be some parting understanding bi bi ajiwe uwia no dia faka aba ana o de edikan ko na mi wia because ye nyina enim time e be wi ana se o chale mi ye meeting bi wo ba bi nti ese me ko oh okay ene uwie a ubetimi akọ an owie no friend so mra me fa no
in
so
such circumstances say o train ni
ye ubetimi aka say ne me ko
oni obada na woni so train
ebetimi aba so say okọ owie am friend no owie no friend so mra me fa na nko ba be fa no.
Okay, all right. Yanko enim. Mame nko kojo king so. Denwie, mesamba also because sakode di nyumi bae. Yvonne Nelson tweet and all social media, the Twitter handle, tweet. I think it's almost about 5 tweets or so. It for back in kind no. But for now, you perceive share enyum no aba no. Echi ni asaba be hwe. Yvonne Nelson make say adie bae nsɛmtwerɛ for open now na kasa. Osi on kasa. But we sakode abonu tutu. Sakode I say kusia o hye bon mu. Wetimi epunu. Wo pun kusie enti sakode epun. Wo pun Yvonne Nelson ema watu nanum tuo enti sakode pedie ni o wo mo maka no ebi omu so keka ho de ne by the time be wie na omu aye interview na man enti kasa no osi on kasa no yen centralfo bi ti say bi entertainment program si a sabere osi on kasa no omu pun no kakra eni eti say obi so no boduem na ono a mo on kasa bi because omu pun no ono ayi nsem no ba enti Kojo King ya bebe no ba yen hwe enwum a eye sakode di aba one on the side of the story anu year one also edema eye Yvonne story I watch on the book I'm not Yvonne Nelson to say na nu year no utim efete say na ekoma
ya beti atiefo em say Yvonne the book ba yet na ha ebo na baso ba bia anko yie e wo sakode on ye papa ni nyina mu kan ye na ewiase mu no esese ye mu obia kwan na ono so ka nasem asem ba ese ye hwe no afane afa enuti na akọ court kura se wadi for seden na wadi bone seden ye ma akwan ma so ka wasem eti wo mu a asa wo mu de wo madi kan ahwire gina fa se we sa akode anyuma ba ye kan na wo ma afa emotions dabi wo mu mbra wo mu emotions na se na ye nyina ye mbu asem no pepepe ma enra man sore ntem papa nti mani te na se nyum no koso awonten pa na in fact mani je yi me bonyum no sa dia sasa enyum no ede ase upona utia papa aben bi edi animu otumi se marching song pa sojafo ede kokun eti mani je enyum no ho ana secondly na be brefi se
brotherhood na kokun
o say
brotherhood no
sao secondly no
I don't want to say keep quiet okay
secondly no that amount for face sakode ye obi a asemba onka umua atwam no na waye bibi na ode ayenyum because me bi kro ba ho interview bi ya lo ode afanyum no abo
sajum no kwesi moda
o moda Kevin Taylor ono so ye ya no de afanyum obi si Kofi Taylor say it was hard there no one ho but this time no o disappointing crowd because response no e bantem and na me pese bantem because this one e yade extreme because e be hasa akode eti on the moral aspect it will buy no manage at least now see a kind book na ye benya bibi nso de ayden across examine and e buy in fact niema epiepia eba bontin kire se sa akode e kasa e o kasa yi no ehu hia pa eti omo na ekono mesrem omo nya botre Yvonne book no ochnon in marketing ye free be emotional appeal and otimi ye ni yie ema atonkrofo atimu yie se odine call hospital jan ho say obia condemn say sa akode anya de eti esere but ne manfo say manfo hu ni say e business sanka e emotional appeal true a ebi ankobeba interview or entertainment review na wabeka na sam na akọ but to have a thought say no book now we are what no e more business it is say akode enso anya ho atwono nyomo de aba in the same way so no so ye business a esesa manfo etiase na afei ye papa nsemu no eti nyomne de me am for it and esese ye mani pan so kwan ti mo otimi yeden e kan o madwene sa semba omo so omo ka omo side of the story yes, a bit more kind and somehow kind. This is a response. Yanoa and somehow obi achno with book ma fan ho and also didn't yano eba. It is said in yano no any book never tour near pensemo. This is not time for emotions. It's time for us to do critical analysis. Na ye share babia assembly that because ye mu bia no bia ni ho. Sa sam kokotwa lawyer any judge no bia ni hobi. Na mo nkura mo bo no ne we beka ni ne we beka no na judge ni de agu ho no ahwe nse asem die me hwe we hwe ya e bia we emom na eka no kore no de abu asem no enti pese saa ane e fa no ekọ no tinyom no de mani age ho.
Okay, all right, so yeah, pese ye di nkomo kakra ye awie na ye wa branch e bakwa me fan say over the years wa tron sem bebre afa celebrities a womo Ghana hanum seeing teach you womo ho website and blog IFNO GhanaCelebrities.com. Chris Vincent Japan mrenim ni osanso your blogger so yenko amano so na yenji kakran so mfini honum say asemi aba betodwe enyumi abe Yvonne Nelson I'm not Yvonne Nelson in ye pp fimu be nyina yenji kakran fi Chris yama akwa baba entertainment review so we right, so over the years I'm sure these celebrities even if say watch up a lot of stories about them me kai bem say bi kretwem Yvonne Nelson brand here say yeah what you know e basisi story bi bem say Ghana celebrities kra mo troye eno na em so de mo be kokot ni ne keka ho ene ensem bebre me boa
I think from the beginning Tama Yvonne enyem no na was one and we had at the time no na confirmed so say ampa onyem yeah true say onyem Yvonne say onyem it turned out to be say now onyem also it came out say yenya source bi catcher say na nipa na one no no na waware Nigerian woman bi and also Yvonne mo ka say that later it turned out to be say ampa na Jenny honest Nigerian woman bi a one no ma na ma ware I think at the time na Jenny Troy letter so or the other court na one Yvonne Nelson too much. And at the time, and I think I was a managing editor there. And I'm kind of say, okay, but the other court I had the chairman, but until Monkabim, I think they realized that now we case the Antino, Omujai, Amani, the Echo.
So, I mean, I'm sure just some few weeks ago, and I'm say or launching Yvonne Nelson, the memoir. I'm not Yvonne Nelson. Meaning, say when you break me, I can kind of book maybe. I know you yourself once you write I was writing books in your car. So wait me a kind impression on the book to
me I sort of I don't really know the purpose of that book. The essence of a memoir, the word memoir comes from French, which would say it's a memory. You are writing, it's a narrative writing from memory. Into most people that would write a memoir, no, they're writing from memory. But you write a memoir based on or to achieve basically two things, either to inspire people or to revenge, And looking at Yvonne Nelson's book, for me, the structure, issues that have actually taken center stage now. It looks like she wrote this book for the second part, which is to revenge. Because I don't see Obi or having any conversation about how this book has inspired anybody. And the essence of memoir in the right thinking, CNOB to inspire people. How you came out of it and how it is inspiring you. People write it, and that's why majority of the people would write memoirs. But memoir, and some people are also very scandalous, so they also write memoir to take revenge on people and away and say. And when you look at Yvonne Nelson's memoir, actually, I can actually say it gravitates towards one that is to solely seek revenge on certain people, from Sarkodie to Inyanya, and then you ask yourself, sir, really, what is the point? At your life, you say, baby, I want Kodri, and I say, Nipe, I need Kodri. Why would you do this?
So, I mean, what kind of book now? There's a word actually from the author, which is Yvonne Nelson. And Onoankasa gives reasons in Tiabia, what they throw with Bookie. I mean, part of it, you know, or say, I'm writing because I have a story to tell. I'm here to be real. I'm here to open up, especially to a generation of young women that needs the truth to make decisions. Into our story, I will say a man for a suo.
I say obi our story. We actually yet to obi our story. But story now you're not the only one in the story. Other people are in the story. So you need to also care about the people in the story. Mean sorry. Now if you are many questions, no one answer over all these years. Many what to find Yakwa Amsterdam, Yakoha, maybe a story be a no, it be a good movie, and I'll still go ahead and write it because we think it may come a story. Life doesn't work that way. Clearly, Ghana and Abia, people don't care about lawsuits, but if clearly any of these people want to take her on, they can look at suing her for invasion of privacy. There are certain issues, and you can't want them. She has no right to talk about those things. Also, there are certain people in the book are on. Some of them are very, very fickle names. For instance, or say, come out dating Yanyano, Oba Ghana, and Obi Freno, a catcher and say Yanya de, and Maba Siho. Obi, Sandy Panwent Mamonity. Yet, Obi, I will say, and our Nipano, and no acquire abortion, you're able to mention the person's name. But Obi, our telephone call. So, when I question I'm making, Niase, here, Dinanka, Oba, Abi, Asem Nihono, and the Ombo. But Obi, our huge brand, I will need to bit my say Nipano, Abi, and the brand, and that's a bit my water down the brand. You're able to mention these people's names. So, obviously, there must be more than our kind. And out American and mostly, I would say Nipano offer. Where I say, well, kind book now you derive your own sort of conclusions. Say Nipano, they in our true book. Even Nelson said, or true book, they are the story to tell the truth. But after reading the book, that's not the sort of conclusion you get. The sort of conclusion you get, and they say, this book is purely to seek revenge on certain people. If it's not so, at the internet, you're able to list certain people's names easily. You repeat it, upon a same name, upon a full name, not even a stage name, trying to make sure, say, I need to pay us and walker. But when it gets to certain people, if you are telling a story, tell the story, and I'll rest you. You've not forgotten about it. So if you're able to selectively name and unname certain people, it then leads to the conclusion, say, look, you are doing this on purpose. You want to actually hit certain people, and you don't want to hit certain people at all.
Okay, so Buki by one person or boni ding to us here, a chire magana for you know whom a young to Sarkodia. Me assure say be creating one name say be your first Sarkodia Michael who so in your cajon. But for people on maybe on my kind book and on my team who say means okay, well, so the dean no ankasa no and in the account so a boni ding to us here chire bibia any you see what tem. So nyumtuni Sarkodia so nyumtuni watna ho and ono so a compose you nyum and or they a kind of side of the story. Nyedi kind sign a till Sarkodia so a kind of side of the story. You think say a necessary who here kind of fast or canon so no eto say.
Because yesterday I say a memoir is a non-fictional narrative writing from memory. In Bonelson and say near okay. Most of the events maybe 10 years ago. And to me, the memoirs are not credible. They are not really extensively reliable because 10 years ago, as some year, Ubisa Yvonne Nelson says, Sarkodia, the ordinary hospital or not at the Calabene Sarkodia, many shots of a kite. 10 years ago, Ukraine Kai, 10 years ago, Abi Atadiana Misha, Medishia will be. So, of course, these are very interesting stories, but so we are very reasonable person.
But Obisu bet me a kayo.
Oh, but the book has a lot of details. And also, conversation in own kai. Akwasi, anya dia o troto. He has been very reliable like that. Oba James okay, but own kai. So of course, I'm not saying you can no correct, but no correct. But I can say the detail or the tiny detail of these things will not be exactly what happened. It's in Yvonne Nelson, they say, from the memory, and I watch away. You might see 10 years ago, no problem. Now, okay, say, Sarkodia, say, ABR, Onkoya abortion, near Yvonne Nelson, and people say, book is very necessary. On one, I would in a story, and I walk, and our boss Sarkodia did story. Now, Sarkodia also said, so this is the problem with this sort of writing. There is no evidence of what has happened. Nya Yvonne Nelson said, Mekai say, and Sarkodia say, Na Sarkodia say, oh, there be person Mekai. So it's very necessary, say if Yvonne Nelson book, about out, now said, Nipa say, necessary, yeah. Then it's also very necessary, Sarkodie also had to also come, not on the kind of side of the story. Because obviously, Yvonne Nelson's story is her story. It's not the whole truth, it's her truth, they call it. And Sarkodie also say, okay, what's he saying now, okay, 10 years ago. Mr. Sarkodie, no, I must make 10 years ago. So at the end of the day, it's up to people to then come to a reasonable deduction. Say, why and they kind of correct. And I said, why I ask them now? For me, I've looked at the chapters that Yvonne Nelson actually about Sarkodie, and I might tell you, and if you ask me, I would say, look, Sarkodie seems to be very much credible to me than Yvonne Ekana. Because Yvonne and Semmy go ahead, it looks contradictory. Now they say, no, Twitter, so say, timer. Say the reason why Sarkodie say Yvonne Ekana say so we are now because of school. Yvonne said that I did no real school. Meanwhile, book no exception our final year. So at the end of the day, Yvonne herself, she's not even reliable with her own account. Now again on type. So it makes you wonder, say, what other things in the book now Yvonne has gotten it wrong.
Okay, so being so said Sarkodie, yes, Brana be you on one, Yankasa Brana be diatem, and that in some be a war and you attempt did would the a Rabano attempt. I don't know, entry, and also.
I could see a car attended the and yet and the Unquan say, what would be a Buana Passia, which in the car will be in a very good way, say, and I say, in a very we have something in literature called euphemism, pleasant way of saying things unpleasant, if I still remember my literature. But so, would me employ euphemism very well. Now, Sarkodie a very or a big British or irresponsible man, or there might be a only Abadaye, and then I say for attempt now, who didn't know it also did this Sarkodie attempt. But Sarkodie will not perhaps employ the same silent way of telling you your best work. Now, so no can I go straight away. We see the only attempt. Attempt the day, you can answer your pen or correct. And they'll be to do attempt now say, what's attempt the own duty. The whole UK Parliament, it's in the case of Donald Trump, idiot, buffoon, this in the Parliament House. And then attempt. Nipa no ne awaya na waka ache no ase ye no ye mpe no kre e ye part of the world. Say nipa no, sorry to say, nipa no ye obi a wajini aka ke na say wajini na call baby. Enye say what the better te kwan eche. Nti say Sarkodie, this is how no ofu na asem, and this is how he wants to portray it. If one has the right we are person can ask them. That's her choice of words. On an FK in diction, the way person throw the book. Or throw the Sarkodie say rapper. And to me, rappers then I would expect really in terms of how they deliver. Even American rappers are no means or motono and my from who you free with this Sahana that sort of industry here. So writing is far apart from rap when you want to consider the choice of words. It wouldn't even compare the way Yvonne Nelson throw in the book to the way Abia Sarkodie then extra the same way I want to compare the way a New York Times a extra article to how maybe Graphic Online and I Ghana Web extra on the article. Most people would write very much based on the sector they find themselves. Sarkodie a rapper on to say will be our outro book. The choice of words will be different. The way we deliver and the point lines will be different. You don't expect Sarkodie to come and write to say be our outro, some mild story be that be or be hitting hard. And I think say very relevant. Say
Chris, it will be see and say now and I'm sure say some of the tweet about insulting attempt did I'm sure you saw the part about womanhood near the day and also all can wasem said a man or the woman chichi form and people are now also playing that card say yes or bad don't mean fan and fast aquine so ma idea almost from your book and in the account. So if you read the tweet of the Yvonne Nelson herself now, Asema Wakan will say insults won't work, Michael. Respect womanhood. Respect womanhood. Say me this on one. Febuoma ma.
Ma. Akwasi obi na de boom ma. But Yvonne Nelson say na me oba. Ofa boom na ma. In some of trofa na ma me hu. Obi a won ma me kra won timi ntro this about the person. Yvonne has clearly said sorry to say na ma me Obama on the die or then a Yvonne Nelson. To a larger extent, Oba just all my Sebu or your bow boy Jamaya Nasa show. Because obviously, also my mama, you know about Wakama, or no, what test here, and after what she's your ma, it's turn out say, some man, you know, about Mudi Nano, and yet, oh, papa. So if you respect womanhood, why would you even say this about another woman? Wow, mammy. So Yvonne's writing, Yvonne and the church say, my mother is a prostitute, and my mother is promiscuous. But the way she narrates everything, when you bring it together, it leads to the same conclusion. Say, mommy promiscuous. The mommy called him Obama. Now, Obama actually said, when you be, maybe 30-something years. Now, say, Obama say, now, no, Obama, on the die, on the war, me. What kind of indictment is this?
And
why will you say that?
Chese, ye can't be a would for crowd or say be a man make you for my see you on else in the decline.
Even in the decline, because why how old I mean any make you form? And from what I hear since 2021, on my Casada. What am I saying? Because with me, a year my minister say, na, or catch a man saying, now what your book will say, oh, my men, I will be on all boy coming. Or a promiscuous, because Obama crowd in a war, you know. We need the Obama crowd one in the war. Now we will not say, oh, catch us away promiscuous, and I say, we are prostitute, sorry to say, and our boy Jamaya, a bayode. Then this same person turns around to say, respect woman. It's quite very unfortunate.
Chris Adasi, let me show.
Okay, that's it.
Chris Vincent Japon, a marine lawyer, sounds a blogger, studio mo, Kojokin. Samson Secret Saffron, so I say Whitney Watchman has joined conversation on so I say. So, okay. Kojo, Chris.
Yeah, then I say, also Abe Canada. Roger, see, as I say, I want me at Ghana for me at here, say, and yeah, man, talk on Abba. Yvonne, any sack or the Assam Nabanieka. Inti man kwese e ma kogufa ana mema akwa kogufa Yvonne tno book no ye bo na baso amanfo ka se owakukudro se watumi di nensem abegu abonten ewiase no otno o story esan se nya wonko ana oti wiase munti no wasam no bekwa kofa ebinom ho because oni nipa bedi nsawaso na se otno a odwen na ohwe ensem no ba bi efa nipa bi ho no a Busa hon some say asama efa ebia Socrates ho ana efa Whitney ho me tnoi say no mo so omo be feel say no mo so mbe fa no busa hon sem we nyina na wa make decision say okay eye say ni say ntima me fa embre mu Yvonne me sure say odu sa level no edwen say sa akode de ya me di hyemu Peter la jete de inyanya de hwan de am di hyemu no say no mbe fa ho and no make a decision or the buy any o mabusia for and no make a decision and or the buy finally ya bona baso ebona say mo pia for why ade and asa akode enso ede nenwom ayeden aba ade nenwom ne de eba de a ye be kase ono momu de waye bone ana say wodidi obi atem anya bia ono so dwen say omo ami bom din what will be their reactions and son of the book no yeden eba eti manfo catch emotions too early say eyade a osuro name calling na edienka ensesa nko no di kan de obi din hye book mu sa akwade anyum no kra de wa amoni din wo ba bia eye ne nsem no oka ba wo de watchno book a document the full name ede ne artistic name ede asemu for forever and ever bia da ho many years to come still obi ofa book obetimi read ye hu sene okura wo de obi onte asem na se no oti anyum na o hu se wo ne yeka wa modin eti aden na all of a sudden Yvonne started throw say sa no kura no sa bodin say ordin no onye din sa na sa kwantuo no sha ase say odi book itu no asa wa prepare no hu yi because wan dream say omo obo mudin no omo so omo wa anu bi on betimi di akasa na enti sa akode kasa ba akopɛ no wɔn sɛ wahya ase yetimi kɔ tweet no ma na ɔse yebedu hɔ
the way I see cause ko tweet no de ko tweet because every day so nti owura tweet no na me ko
wahu sania obodin no wodwen sɛ omo amabo omudi ni so betimi aba back na enti say akode de nwom bayi wa start it with it okay can some afei na o san bepe public sympathy bobo nkola din and ye nyina e wo maba me pa cho Yvonne a business na wo ye o ton book gisika enti no memfa nkola mba mu sesi a enye nkola ntokwa na ye ko ni sesi a eye oba de bema omanyini na omanya enkutawodie enye nkola so sa ofre o baba trying to seek public sympathy no he shouldn't do that it is wrong for her to do that on fasade ni free ho enye afa na abepe eye sympathy from the people because what will be doing on also the response aba now mini na anka medin me even anka some way by and medin because ye nyina ya bo aba so say the way how the tone book no strategy how the tone book ebi mu kura ka say eye sa akode bit no ana how the sell book no ye nyina ya bo aba so ho the kameno na anka me din nemom se wa start ya all pre tweet ni tre say sa akode aka bibia ono nso awo no sa akode aka no kura bia emani ntimi ntena baabi otene din etese owoso ne ho ene woso hu mu no waba beke kansem a afei ye cross examination on the face of the pink sheet ye kwone ye kohwe a ye hu se eniamba bi nkika nsi ani yie anko ye din asakasa de ne eye de emba
in fact ene me hye me ho so pa but radi ankopon tum hye me ho so anya yi o because a man na any member na sebi so ma join we nya etenia I me dese kojoke wo say we nya man ne member talk but you see Yvonne Nelson untunufu so here obi validation ni obi sympathy but asem your kan ya Ghana for him one say the omo katwa sakode no Mpenfo mienu na munya mo ntokwa.
Sure.
Enkola na wa sha ase nso odi omure mu ne.
Efri that is where well do you
Ghana for mo nhu.
Sakode di oni ba wo tru asem we no sakode ba be. What will he see of his father?
Now
what will she see of her father?
Odrin
Nature say sakode ba no nyi no be kan book o be ka say ne papa ye responsible.
Ai sa no andrin ho.
Wo de wa anwen.
Onu kra ne ba rain o sen rain no. Se onyi a no oye mature no be kan book no betimi akisu eye ne ma me say aden no oye sa ade no se akwala no sa eti wo make decision for the child but no so betimi anyi be kan say mami ehuma ya otwuno ye de waguma ni mas obi betimi de asere no say wo mami cry story new say eho nyina na complications
ama Whitney Kabi ba
well me wie yo
piako enim
eti ba bia sa akode ka say baby o ka say onu no pushi ni say onkoya abortion no na ehye no nti na ma onu kra ba abonten obai wa be ka say sa time no
sakode say onu pushi no
o say baby o ka say for Yvonne say onu no pushi ni ma na
abortion so say no na version
no kra na she no ma ne ba abonten say onu so ni version o de bai ni say dabi enyem na me ka say koyi nyi say na mom no odo na eye me hu de ba me si keep Oxan cracker say or say behu ni doctor. Behu me doctor. And even who call man probi ho say who could do man probi ho no. O hwe a place na ultimately say place ni nya bia e ho ye ntina nka okura no ehu abo. Meanwhile so ukun ya o be ma wona onye ukun be ma wona o si ni unsuo gina mu no e kan say behu ni doctor. E bia nka omde obekọ ba bia ye safe. Ana wa recommend say wo ba bia ye best. Osi unim say doctor ni ye good.
Munya ko. You are not invited.
Onim say doctor no ye good. Ba we what's am betno wo mu me kodu honom no me hwe na afa hu abomi. You see enti sa kwade asem o kan say say time no na osi umom osi school eno nti na ompese ye beyi abofra no. Na enyo no no o share o say ye kohwe book no mu no so no sa na tie ba wo be tweet wo Twitter sisi ano. Osi no wa school. Enti say ye de tumu a sa kwa
be say first one no mfa say hu so ye mfom so. Nti chi no sam be tweet e be tie mu ye.
Yo wo book no mu.
enti
mfomso ahe enye nea makan ne nea menkan ye dabi
hello okay, so let me not use word inform.
Enti
let me not use o share first tweet na tweet no utim say enchemu no anko yie
enti ne chese book no so
nyabotre na tiefo enti asem enti book chro ka say the same thing as tweet book ya chro wi a ye proofreading ye editing
yes
enye the same as tweeting
enti ne wa chro ne
nyabotre education is say tweeting is not the same as book writing.
Yes,
let people get, so don't men can't try.
enti no, what is your problem now?
My problem is that you are misleading people.
Which mistake? Who me say
so great who too future go man for you so we man
me can see
enti no ube tweet ye no ye cross check ye no na some information na o de ba no eni ehumanum say sa akodi asem no ka no nokre ebi ya eden abamu e wo wa wasem a wo ye de o ka ho eti ye be sere say onya abotre
okay
na ontimi se ne otimi etwe obuku a wandwen obi ho se ne oba feel no obi so
eno de ontimi nche se wandwen ho ebi odwen ho se na person feel
se decision odwen no take decision eti eno no me ntimi nka se odwen because o ma ye bo omudi no no sa ha omo
obetimi aba se odwen ho pese se na se feel
good eti se ne omo so omo de nyi ano ba no ese se otia se finally ema na omo pese omo ye ne ma ne mema ntokwa no
pacho nyabotre before omo ka so miso genetic
David.
Ombe brofu kakaka ombe catch up.
Okay. Ye nuano man bi na ombe so omo ye ema ne mema ntokwa no. Book no mu no na oba bi wom eye Yvonne maame. Ono nso no na deja abeda abonten. Enti so omo timi condemn saa ede ni wi a afei na omo
condemn oba no.
Omo condemn say oba no ede ne maame aja adaja ebegu abonten eton we kwa de oton wa commercialize ne maame anim gwase omo condemn sa side no ansan na ebi o masan condemn sa akodi
misogynistic ana unkan mo Debbie maame na American Whitney and so obi amponsane Lexi the comic men catch him some kasa on microphone dey cry na microphone cry asem men cry nia me catch it for says mu studio ha enti mema mo kwan no makasa munya abotre ma me obi amponsane yi eno ma ba me stage me ko hwe show no munya me a dey for no mo ye me so ene me nya om nti ese bitimi Whitney Gentil, yeah.
The back and forth of two very hurt people hurting each other. Na yeti na ye adane turf war. Question na me bisa me hone say ye mu biat na hwe bisa say. I mean, there's always your side of the truth, my side of the truth, and the truth.
What was I become turf war? Share. Na we are seeing a baby akodu no eya mo kasa no na mo nti wi ase o na nka book no obi ani wi ase anka aka say mo chiro book no ni aye ni na aka ho
no but Kwesi, it has become really a turf war
na omo bo stadium no those times now covered by na when we say players among from coach stadium omo bo no cra feel ni cra ni honum say when spectators ni coach stadium omo bo no say omo honma yes
to bring
Enti won ka say wie ye.
Oni ba no waka fufu no na baso.
Me see. Niema.
O kasa na maye din na me show. As soon as me started kasa
but your microphone now o tunu. Hey, asem.
So omo mienu nefu.
Okay, yentio.
Kwesi, there's your side of the truth, my side and the truth. And I don't think say in kofo mienu no say ye from mienu netna sisi a in get studio hakra in some na obia ka woni book mu and nnwom no it will be the same thing. For me nia me pese me bisa me ho say omu mienu no at any point in time no omu mienu na adwen ho say this back and forth no it hurts no one's career but them. And I know so Bibeka say all bad news is even good news. But in this sense, and I am happy say, Yvonne added the factor of
with my small experience be our industry with me. Sa asem no so no hati obi a career Ghana hanum say kra de we ni say kra fi kra na company bi kra be sign.
Really?
Oh, sure.
Because company signing irresponsibilities so say you encourage it. No, but in every sense of the word now, that is where it has gotten to.
It's okay, but it has nothing to do with you, Pacho. Pacho, it has nothing to do with you. You are out of order.
Yes. Mate.
We are out of order. We are out of order. We are out of. You have been ruled out of order.
Yo.
Sisiano. Yeah. Obia air call it out and would notice here over the past 1 week. I think for cry any book anymore. I think ye videos of and any way ye say and I'll call Wayne so and I'll born you be some time ago and I'll say why you say ni say. Baby do no. What bakwaton books enough, bakwaton nyom enough. But omumie need a certain kind of healing from what we are all witnessing about both of them. Because at the point now that abortion aspect ne happen, there's a truth that none of them is telling us. And with nyom na ba story na ba no, there's a gap bia omonka into omonka sees with nyamenibi because really nyamenibi afe eya time. I am the first person I can say love Michael, but I was extremely disappointed in some of nyamenibi okaye, and I won't lie about that. Because okan nyamenibia in the way say she's for the streets. Say
na street in any panegosu.
But in the sense, no kind any discerning person knows exactly what it means when somebody says somebody is for the streets. Obia can say and can't say you're too broad. You know exactly what Jai, you know exactly what it means when I tell you that you are for the streets. In truth, the slang of you are for the streets means say Obia no order. That is exactly what it means. Don't take anything out of it. And the fact say all kasa then goes on to mention and any way no.
And you no crow nim no so kan.
But in a way, no, what does it say about you?
And I'm saying so no crow nim no kan.
No crow nim, but if you are calling me out, say I am for the streets. Now one at a point, no kasha me say you wanted me to keep that pregnancy. It says a lot about you and one kasa.
So a street boy.
Or your streets will.
Also, yeah, also a street. I'm one say, oh, no, so a street. Also a street. What kind? I say, what can't say. I don't know why.
My kind.
No, my kind. Also, so a street. Saturday, that's also a street. Yeah. Yes. I see. I don't see a street guy.
Or your street guy. Yes. But to call a girl out, say Tina.
Street boy against street girl. What is your problem now?
At no point in time in Yvonne, the section of
street boy and street girl, what problem is it?
The problem ne say in Yvonne book no. At no point in time did she mention say he was for the streets.
Now then, Tina, why? No, me say.
Can I finish?
No, but is it that Yvonne Becca Penn say?
I am not saying say Yvonne Becca Penn.
Yvonne can answer no so Ntimo no the other.
And can I finish?
No, but I'm saying me say, is it the case near Yvonne Bekan and no pe and the truth and now?
Kwesi, Yvonne's truth is not
support.
Moral support.
Yvonne's truth said that from Okain book now, from the time no, na or yeah upcoming. And he was staying with his mom. And that's for her, no. Ne answer man meant that he was not ready at that time. Ono so about out abeka say or can say own keepy. which now proves say there's something that is missing somewhere. But he never denied say me no wo call hospital no. Me njawo wo ho. Kwesi, the only point I'm trying to make ne say nyama sa akwadie can't from the start of the song how he thought she was the it girl, the trophy girl, and that he wanted to be with her and all that, no. At least for me opinion, if he had ended it there and said in his truth, say, like Yvonne said, they were all young and naive and all that, no. It ends there. But to call or bar you wanted at a point in time for her to keep your baby.
I know I did Busianya no any editria. And communication cremuno. Asem near the can you the alleging the same two national debate defend it. All these things so I don't know why the
fact that his rejoinder to the what she said is different does not mean that we all cannot have a counter opinion, which is why we are sitting here.
Of course.
It means that we all can have our opinions about what he said.
Yeah.
You are right.
Okay.
So stop gagging me.
I'm not gagging you. I'm agreeing with you.
And Kwesi, I also feel say, the Sarkodie are to a certain pedestal. The kind of executive he is, the kind of brands or associated with, and baby and growth level they do. And I expected say, okay, I will want to do a rejoinder, but let me think about all these things before I do that.
Okay.
As a brand, me enone hame. As a growth do baby, nyame bi wo hɔ I don't, and especially too as a role model, because now every irresponsible boy ye bibia the national anthem ni. And Sarkodie baby we doing tours in schools, trying to be a role model for Nkolano. Nyame bi wo hɔ and say if one who kasa no man kasa
na Cuba Links is to me role model.
People say role model. Share.
Kwesi ono na waba be ka say Cuba Links o na de be mu ewie. But ono na waba be ka.
Me na me de be mu. Cuba Links na wanyum no.
One kind no.
Cuba Links na wanyum no.
Kwesi
o see Cuba say sana onim say sana de nkro mo san so say Cuba Links.
And ho na me expect to say Sarkodie baby we do auto schools with impressionable nkola no nyame bi wo hɔ and say efi nenum eba.
This one is emotional card. So
it is not an emotional card.
The youth are learning. One thing, if you want to see the youth are learning.
I am talking about near all. I am
Queen.
I said my make no one say.
Forget a brand when your brand as something like Michael Uswaduni.
It's Michael Uswado, not the alias of Sarkodie. And he can forget his brand and say the words and go and stand in front of schools and say that. How would you feel, sir?
And you cry, you're toning it down. Yeah, West cry.
As far as you are concerned on the attempt, and you can't hold my opinion. That thing you are doing is stop it. No, stop it. Your opinion is on you. My opinion is say assembly feel the number, and I feel he should turn it down because attempt the kojo. No, don't do that.
And when you kojo came with us, it's so great meet you.
Sister Whitney, okay, be say baby a which you wait for a friend is saying. Me pacho me do be call Luke chapter 23 verse 28 or say, but Jesus turning unto them said, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourself and your children.
So Sarkodie is now Jesus.
Amen.
So Sarkodie is now Jesus. That's even blasphemy. That's even blasphemy.
That's
even blasphemy. Stop it. And you're blasphemy. Stop it.
Who's blasphemy?
Stop it. Now try to obey all kind of brotherhood. The brotherhood. No. Socrates may catch out say, I have been in the hospital all afternoon, and there's no way would Socrates wouldn't make a hospital like you may.
Try me.
You will leave me.
Try
because
me.
it has happened before. So,
and I'm sure. Okay, so Studio One saying Obi and Ponsani. Lexi the comic I had him say mobile be kan Yvonne Nelson asem ni bia
oh there be you be kan on stage
mobile kan on stage yeah the Belgians
car
welcome on stage
Pacho say.
Obi ni obi enya asem no mo de ba beji mo de.
No. Say sa ko dey rap it. Yvonne be throw book. Yes, yeah, the best.
Okay.
Yeah, be.
Me time na so nti yeah call who come about stage you know which means BB Eba.
Yes. So come and me so me cry a ticket. You will show Journey to the South. You call it to Kwanko South Africa.
Right.
You call near me CC chino ya TV. Yes, you nyama wo.
Okay.
Nti you be come one sesem ne near be cry course wo Ghana ha no.
Okay.
You be bom nkomo.
Right.
Nti many lazy on the same stage. I'm so who ne sada. Aha, nti you be
two comedians on the stage at the same time.
Our National Theatre this Saturday
Okay.
1st July Saturday or National Theatre tickets no yeah early bird na say early bird no go fan to ntemuti bird ni da switch na ho that's so early
no mo ye by election no
by election no so the yes ramo nyame adoma Saturday you invite you be a National Theatre 7 p.m. Other comedians be pass through, musicians will go play be performing guy your Kaya Mata on also be performing Jezino. It's going to be a good night. Into your bass be inviting mu especially Whitney Miss Muse
Nakuma was
serious is here on bravo. Whitney one him say me know you fine pa. Ti when mama na me more ticket. Oh. All right. It's any Whitney female and make can go see and say remember secret no the ama Whitney. Mr. Ramwa, Journey to the South. Over turn the gate there 150, but we turn free and sell. And I said short for that.
Carl, what's your problem?
Why are you calling me that on there? Why are you calling me that on there?
Wait,
why are you calling me that on there?
Is that your Nyodin?
How many people in the name say Emidi?
I am not Abakali.
Me baby edu na na penny edu asese me bo. O ma kan Whitney ahun fi o mo. Enti I no pen ese me bo. O ma kan Whitney ahun fi o mo. Enti e ese mbo ani. So Saturday
Saturday National Theatre.
Okay.
Esemo amomra
ticket no mo turn no say
100 cedis.
100 Ghana
early bird no.
Ochina na last day
for we there for because sika man for sika mo de mo sika ba 100 Ghana there F say two comedians Lexi the comic because ono kwa e bia Lexi kwa kra ya so ojibu 100 na obi amponsan kra so ono kwa ya say ojibu 100 no mu mienu aka bum no mo je 100 Ghana cedis sika mo ko say no asin no of Ines kaketwa
yes yakobo ka South Africa
NDCMP before sika mo ko say no asin no of Ines kaketwa akwan yi a mo de kota egu fan mo ntimi nyani na I mean come on
Ines kaketwa
yes Ines kaketwa NDCMP Ines kaketwa sika mo ko say mo ne mo girls ne mo boys
and no dia home fast when they say
mo ne mo girls ne mo boys sika mo ko wi wa asin no of Ines kaketwa maba pacho why
omobeto 2 sir
we didn't get by omoto 2 sir
musila meto ba ko be 100 we no get beto but ticket we no boefu ne boefu
into over kwesi nyaminsha na onko so anyo kese e bia we ye bowura ha keke o eni wa ye nyaminsha pa enti wa ye
Saturday that's your true book Saturday money page na
that's
so anyu be shia wo comedy club
okay all right so great you dey chat to cry your phone your call say God willing Saturday be share
yeah no me say kwesi Saturday we dey me no obekọ ye betina faako why Saturday me no obekọ na ya hwe say ne omo de bae na Yvonne issue no so no isi enyanwie book no me hu say da bia ode ba enti enyanwie
unfortunately sir you have to read a book
me
it's an insult
I'm listening to the book
kan Saturday member hanim say
oh yo okay with your permission
one kind book na member
yo me da say with your permission we dey tie for
and yeah I'm saying say one kind me kind no
with your permission o say ma me Saturday me kwa ko boa me nuamu set up ne nuama me nuama ntino chale say wa ma permission ntino I will come and help you o say ma me ma
okay any
yeah
you be both screen we
screen yeah okay. But
Whitney,
quick one before we leave. Sorry, Chalewote Festival. August.
Promotion. We see promotional. Unye promotion. Debi. We see unye promotional. Bia o ha say. Debi. Unye promotional. Bia. Whitney, microphone. me see unye promotion idea.
Apologize for what?
Ure fi asama kan.
Whitney, mami ti odi enko.
Question patro ewie me pese me dad doctor say when ya ho asepa my sister is not well and they've been around the clock around here into me doma asepa.
Wishing well. You're wishing well.
I don't know.
Cause okay.
Aha, enti no asam no eye cash out season. Obi de ne de eye book. Ena obi so de ne de aye nwom. Say ne ye to book na obi gi sika egu ni botom no obi anso be didi. Eti sa akode nso abonwom a omonti ase se obi edidi. At times ye fa ho na o kan se bi me ye me de se ne ewi ase ne kono. Obi timi trafie no ahihye adwuma. Ono kran ha no na obi ye tietie ne ya fa ho. Book no so omo twere omu se ade we edi wild argument beba omo twere book no mu. Eti ye kan mo obi amfa ne feelings. Ye kan omo ti fe ye omo de.
Ti you so word because there is chauvinism.
So what tweet say book na san.
Who you so chauvinism there?
Misogynistic.
Misogynistic.
What tweet say book no wa ko print for fraba.
Ai so akọ print mo.
Omo ton ti.
Eno wa tweet cross be braba nti.
Try me so wo YouTube mon costume ye pese nya million views by tonight.
Inya Nigeria ni no oka no ase ono so ba.
Ono so de ne de ba obi amfa ne de mra so create so the movie be ba. Na I fine.